Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here. I'm just about to cough. Right, sorry. Charlie Winters here with selections for Monday, the 6th of February. Well, let's get straight into it. In fact, no, let's have a little bit of a recap. How frustrating is that to have a 40 to 1 that would have been placed, brought down by, was it a loose horse that fell? I know I don't know if we would have shown a profit in the end because I flicked it off short after that. I knew it was a dreadful race. I know which one. I know you know which one I'm referring to. The one where I picked the 240 to 1ers. Well, I'll be honest. I only saw part of the race. I saw the beginning and towards the very end. I know one of something fell and brought something down, but yeah, I think there's only four or five. Well, there were five horses left, and basically, if it jumped round, it was guaranteed to be placed. Was it Reign Supreme 40 to 1, and it would have, yeah, gutted. So yeah, I just keep saying yeah. You know what would happen? It would have come place. It would have had a nice return. I haven't worked out to see if it would have made a profit or not, but it doesn't matter. It didn't place. It got brought down, so that was frustrating. So after that load of nonsense, right today. Monday's bet is a stake of £15. Decide for yourself how much you want to stake. So let's get straight into it. So the first bet is 25 pence each way doubles and 15 pence each way trebles. So the first race is the 345 at Carlisle. The three selections are Lively Citizen, and I've taken the price of 7 to 1. War Verge and Fostered Phil. The reason for selecting these is all of them have got chances, but War Verge and Fostered Phil, the trainers, Fostered Phil is James Ewart, who won the race last year. He also obviously runs this horse, Fostered Phil. I think it's got half a chance. It's definitely an interesting horse. It hasn't really encountered soft ground, so I'm not quite sure if they've waited for this ground or what. I don't know. But it's definitely an interesting horse. War Verge is running well. Lively Citizen has been massively dropped in class. First time cheap pieces. And I don't quite understand what they're doing with this horse because you'd have thought if they're prepping it for Cheltenham, why waste your money just sending it all the way to Carlisle to have a prep run ready for Cheltenham when you could just. He trains at Worcester. Why not wait for Worcester or Hereford or something like Chepstow? But he hasn't. He sent it all the way up there. Does he want it to win the race to get a penalty to get into one of the Cheltenham races? I don't know. But I have included it because I tipped it last time in a much better race. First time cheap pieces. It is normally a horse that runs its better races when it's near the front, possibly even an easy lead. So those are the three selections in the first race. I've then gone to the 4:15, where I've had another three selections, and it's the 4:15 at Carlisle, and I've gone for Espoir, Moravier, Dawn Raider, and Cudgel. Dawn Raider, I believe that the trainer had a placed horse last year, so that's the reason I've gone for it. Cudgel came out of. I looked at this race ages ago. Cudgel either came second, sorry, it came fourth or fifth in this race last year. It was actually 4 to 1. Well, this year I think it's been overlooked by the bookmakers or by the odds makers because it's 28 to 1. It's been a little bit out of form, but it's got Connor Farrell still on board, and I think he's very good at cajoling this horse or sneaking this horse into the race. I'm expecting to get a long way behind and horses possibly to fall away and this horse to come late and either sneak a place or, depending on how quick they got in front, maybe even to win the race. Well, Espoir Moravier, it's got first time visor and it could revitalise this. Yeah. I've got a combination of a cold and the inability to speak. And Espoir Moravier, it's got first time visor today. And I think it could waken it up and it could hopefully get its backside into gear and run a much better race than it has been doing. It is becoming quite well handicapped. So yeah, it is a horse to keep on the right side of. And finally, yes, the horse I was talking about, the separate video, it's actually 7 to 1, right? Maybe I could be completely wrong about this horse, but part of the connections winning it last year. Also, it was a very decent horse that won it for Donald McCain last year, rated 130 something. It's now the second offspring from this dam that they've now used, and I think it could be maybe a bit of a talking horse on the day, but I think it is a half decent race because obviously there's 3 winners that fill the first 3 places in the betting. Obviously, if one of those doesn't run to form, well, Moonlit Park could pick up a place, but I think this horse could be better than what the bookmakers think. And at 7-1, there's too many ticks in its box. Basically, the only thing we don't know about it is if it's any good. I'm totally taking that on trust, but the breeding suggests it's supposed to be. So so I'm kind of relying on that as a bit of a banker, really, because I definitely always think that national flat horses in bumpers and even in novice hurdles, if they've got a penalty or double penalty, they are massively vulnerable. So I've also had to make it up to £15. So let me just remind you of the stake. So it's 25 pence each way doubles, 15 pence each way trebles, and then finally I've had £2.40 each way on this horse, Moonlit Park. I think you've got to take the price. You decide ultimately if you want to, but £2.40 each way to top it up to £15. If you only want to put £7.50 on, split all the bets by half. So those are all the bets for Carlisle. Apparently there's a precautionary inspection. Well, if it's for frost, I'm expecting it to pass because it's supposed to get up to like 9 degrees tomorrow. So it's only supposed to go to 0 tonight. So if that's the reason, because I can't imagine it being for waterlogging because it's only good to soft in places. So that's all I'm expecting to be because of frost, and I can't see it happening, to be honest. So as in, like, I can't see it being called off. So if it is called off, I shall give you Wolverhampton selections that evening. But if not, I shall just be sticking to this race meeting. So the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.